The calculated sections are completely dockable, which allows you to create a customized workspace. You can rearrange the panes as per your choice, and the customizations you make are all saved in the .cadence directory. They are remembered the next time the calculator opens. In the example here, you can see that the math and trigonometric sections have been docked in a vertical layout. To go back to the default settings, go to the File menu and choose Reset GUI. On your screen here, you can see the Options menu, which is accessible from the Calculator tool. You can use this to access different numeric display options. You can use the Mode submenu to set the mode of calculation. You can set the notation to engineering, suffix, or scientific using the Notation submenu. You can change the number of significant digits, setting it from 1 to 16. You can choose Edit Buffer Color to open the Select Color form. In the Select Color form, you can customize the appearance of your buffer contents. This helps to visually process complex expressions. The toolbar of the calculator is very comprehensive. Here you can see all the possible actions that you can perform with the toolbar. The Family Radio button allows you to plot family of curves. By default, it is set to wave, which is used for selecting a trace. You can see the expression in the buffer. Then we have the button which evaluates the contents of your buffer. Click the button next to it to create a table of results. And then you can choose the plotting mode if you're plotting directly from here, because once you evaluate what's there in your buffer, depending on whether it's a wave or an expression, it's going to get plotted or evaluated to a table. So choose from Append, Replace, New Subwin or New Window from here. Then we also choose the display type using the drop-down list next to it. Then we have the button that you can choose to send your buffer expression to the AD output section. Following that, we have the button to open Results Browser. Coming down below the buffer, starting from the left, we have a small arrow that you can use to display or hide the stack. Use the Next button to push the buffer onto the stack. The Next button is used to swap the buffer and the first stack item. Following that, we have the button to pop stack and insert at the buffer cursor. The next button is to cycle down the buffer to the bottom of the stack and move the first stack item to the buffer. The next button is used to cycle last stack item up to the buffer and push the buffer to top of the stack. Then we have the buttons to clear the buffer and clear the buffer and the stack. You can add the buffer expression to the expression editor, and you can open the expression editor using the next two buttons. Then we have the undo or redo commands. You can use the calculator to work with signals and post-process or create expressions with them for further analysis and evaluation. The types of signals and the information you want to obtain from them can vary depending on the type of analysis. Similarly, there are many probes you can choose from for different types of analysis. These probes are listed here on the snapshot along with the description for the commonly used probe functions. More information is available in the notes section of the slide and also in the manual. In the Functions panel is listed built-in calculator functions that you can use for creating your expressions to be evaluated. With the drop-down menu, you can access categories of these functions. Selecting expressions here changes the tab to the expression editor. There is also a search field to search for functions directly. You can also create customized functions. Based on the choice of function, the panel modifies itself and provides you with a setup form that you can fill out for a chosen function. This usually works on some type of signal that can be loaded from a simulation database. In the example here, DFT function is chosen and the function panel modifies itself to show some fields that you can fill out to evaluate the DFT of whichever signal you have chosen. So enter your parameters in this field that you can see in the snapshot at the bottom and press OK or Apply to add the expression to buffer. You can also right-click on any function name to access help regarding that function. Here we take a look at two toolbars, the Custom toolbar and the Favorites toolbar. The Custom toolbar gives you three different options to manipulate the buffer contents: App, Plot and ER Plot. After selecting App, the content of buffer is added to the expression editor table and the buffer is populated with the latest entry in stack. You can use the Evaluate Buffer button to plot or calculate these expressions in the expression table. You can add as many expressions as needed from the stack to the expression editor. When you select Plot, the buffer contents are plotted in append mode. When you select ER plot, the buffer contents are plotted in replace mode. Frequently used functions from the function panel can be set as favorites so that they appear in the favorites toolbar. The favorites toolbar is auto-updated whenever a new function is added. To add a function to the favorites toolbar, right-click a function and select Add to Favorites. You can also delete a function from the favorites toolbar. The favorites toolbar by default is set up next to the custom toolbar. Most of the features, tools or functions in the Viva Excel allow you to access a context-sensitive right-click menu. On the slide, you will see this menu that you can access when you right-click on the calculator toolbar itself. So you can use this to enable or disable certain additional toolbars from the calculator, and this helps to customize the calculator workspace. Some lesser used toolbar functions such as math, RF functions, special functions and trigonometric toolbars are usually disabled by default, and you can enable them here. Let's look at some special set of functions here. RF functions, which contain functions specific to RF analysis, can be viewed by changing the cyclic menu to RF functions in the function panel or by enabling the RF toolbar. There is a cyclic field called Special Functions in the function panel that provides you access to certain special functions such as the DFT, eye diagram, etc.